Hello, I'm here. Sorry, I'm slightly late. There we go. I was getting water and going to a little cupcake room and getting some gloves on. Well, hello, Dubayadri. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing as well as can be. Yeah. So I'm kissing Cuptle's head. Have I ever used vampire count to beastman head bits and chaos space marines? Just give me a moment. Give me a moment and I'll show you. I'll show you some fun stuff. Okay, where's my fluffy gloves? One glove, one way or another. I'm gonna find you. Gonna get you. One way or another. Sorry, I got like distracted there. How are you doing? How are you doing when I'm getting my gloves on? I have used. I'll show you some things I've made because they're right next to me. Moving out of the way. But how is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well today. Oh gosh, my thumbnail is in pain. Ow, 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 ow. So I cut through my thumbnail the other day with a knife. Like doing one of the crafting knives or cutting Warhammer bits up, and it went straight into my nail and it hurt. And now it's got like this big old slice in it I can't get rid of because, you know, it's in the healthy part of the nail. I'm just gonna have to wait for it to grow out. Bam! Big old love heart. Hi. Look, I've been painting these things. Oh yeah, wait a minute. You said, have I ever used vampire count bits on Space Marines? I'll show you. I'll show you the stuff. So we had this yesterday, our demon prince, made from not technically vampire counts. Age of Sigmar model, Bangorian Lord from the vampire people. I forget what they're called. Soulblight Grave Lords. Who made this? It's a demon prince. And she's not technically, nor has she ever been a Space Marine. And she's in the Chaos Space Marine army, but you know. And she does have a Space Marine on the base that's been sliced to pieces. So yeah, we have. And also Mauler Fiend, made using a Terrorgeist, which is definitely a vampire counts model. You've got Defiler bits on it, got Mauler Fiend bits on it, got a collar made and stuff. Would you like to see Vampire and Beastlings Chaos Space Marines though? And wait a minute. Bam bam bam! Actually, Space Marine using, actually technically it's not on the Chaos Space Marine model, it's on the Librarian. But this is my Night Lord Sorcerer, Vampire Count helmet, Vampire Count sword, World Eaters backpack. That shoulder pad is from a Bloodthirster. So yeah, there you go. Yay! I was building up to it. With each model. I was getting slightly closer to an actual Space Marine. I like Nurglings of Poxwalkers and Demons of Khorne being usable both in 40k and Age of Sigmar. Yay! The Demons are fun. Like, that's why we got the Head Knights of Slaanesh box. To use them in 40k, not Age of Sigmar. Well, what else did I want to say about? I actually need to turn my air conditioner back on because my gosh, it's warm. Just gonna have to deal with the noise. What do I have going on though? Yeah, I don't have any Nurgle demons yet. Technically, I've got 2 soul grinders that I want to convert using a bunch of clay or modeling putty or whatever into some Nurgle plague hooks, which will still just be soul grinders. Hello, no, we're not Nurgle people today. We're Slaaneshi people. We're Night Lordy people. See, we got Demonettes. Look at her with her crab claws. She's all crabby. And we got our banner. And we got this gal with her big old music stick. She's like, "Rah!" She's got those shoulders back. Actually, do they all have their shit? They've all got their shoulders back. That's the model pose. That's the like pose that, you know, it's to make yourself look thinner. You put your shoulders back, it makes you look less broad. It puts your chest out. It arches your back, which also helps make your waist look thinner and your everything else look bigger. So you know, that's a supermodel pose. Also, if you'd like trained to look whatever. But here's a model that we spent like 3 hours yesterday building and converting. Look how gory that looks there. You can barely see. Focus camera. Focus for like a second. Yeah, look at that. I made God, yeah. Hello, Adam. Hello, Nano Fate. Hello, DM. WJ. And hello, Talan. Okay, let me cover all bases. Then hello, nerds. No, we're not nerds. What's this? I still can't get over that 40k keeps mentioning. Yeah, I don't know if that's a true thing. Are they still using the rules where if you're not playing Chaos Undivided, you can only have Khorne ally with Nurgle and Slanesh ally with Scene? No, they don't have that anymore. Hello, Mimi Komira. How you doing? How you doing, Mimi? Ba 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 ba. Big old wave here. Hello, VTuber. Wait. There we go. Now we put this down over here carefully because I've not magnetized any bases yet. We got stuff to do. It's Mimi Core. Wait, how do we do it? There we go. Will this work? Will this work? I can't remember if it does. Oh yeah, it does that. I forgot it does that as well. There we go. It does work out. Yeah. I still don't see a Khorne leader having sorcerers in this. A Khorne leader, so Mimiko's cupcake is still homeless. It's a homeless cupcake. It's a homeless cupcake. Don't worry about it. Oh, can Khorne. Oh wait, I'm not in live chat. Oops. I've got 2 of my chats in live chat. That one needs to go into live chat. There we go. Yeah. It's a really old Khorne sorcerers that took damage. So a Khorne Lord. So if you're just playing Chaos Space means they're not World Eaters, then just because your Warlord is Khorne aligned doesn't mean that everyone else in his warband has to also be Khorne aligned. And it doesn't mean that just because you're Khorne aligned that you're going to absolutely hate all magic. And Khorne hates magic, but it doesn't necessarily mean everyone who's Khorne hates magic. And on top of that, just because you hate magic doesn't mean you're not going to begrudgingly make use of it. Like, you know, sorcerers and stuff. Because, you know, you're going to use it. You want to use it. Like, so yeah, and it's not every single Khorne person who's like allied, you know, is a follower of Khorne. It's going to be a World Eater. They're not all the same. They're not all followers of Khorne are the same. I mean, they act very similarly, and eventually, well, after a long enough time and getting corrupted enough, they will all basically be the same. But in the early stages, and if they resist getting corrupted too much, then yes, they have their own personalities and opinions on things that aren't just dictated by Khorne. Just like you can have a sorcerer of, not a sorcerer, a Lord of Tzeentch without being magical at all. Hmm? Here's some spending money. Oh my gosh, you just gave her 10,000 sprinkles. Click the pin link to customize your cupcake. Yeah, everyone, if you've never customized your cupcake, but don't forget you can customize your cupcakes. Also, hi Flash, did I miss you there? Hello, Flash. So yeah, I know Korn used to have sorcerers, and in Age of Sigmar he kind of has sorcerers again. But they're kind of priests, they're not sorcerers. I'm hoping in 40k we kind of also get Cornate priests. Okay, what are we building today? We're building themes. Yeah. Okay, which is a box with the feet? That's the Seekus. That's the Seekus. That's the Demonettes. That's Fiends. Is that the same? Yeah. Is that just both of those spoos are the Fiend spoos? I think so. Although we want three big old oval bases. 3 big old oval bases. Yeah. And we got Seekus. We got. I'm looking at all the stuff I've got. Oh yeah, and I've got these guys, which are like way different from what I was expecting or hoping for. So I wanted to make these as cultist firebrands. In Age of Sigmar, they're not using magic, they're using yeah, they're not using magic. Just, I mean, it's not magic. It's definitely not magic. They say so themselves. Yeah, I didn't realise that they had molded bases like this, which is going to make it a bit difficult rebasing them. I don't know how big these bases are. I'd have to figure that out. Actually, are they 38mm? 32mm. No, they're not 32mm. That means they look like they're 28mm. Okay, do I have a 25mm? I do have a 25mm here. So bigger than 25, they're smaller than 28. 32, so they're 28.5. I emphasize old Hammer 80s, not Age of Sigmar. I know old Hammer had Cornate mages. There you go. Oh yeah, also we got this stuff going on. We've got the Mighty Hippo Rhino. My gosh, that's a massive model, by the way. Absolutely sloshing. I've seen people saying they could make a squigger for something from this. It's like, not a gargantuan squigger, just a normal squigger. Also, you got the rules over here, which, I mean, I still don't know if any of these are good or bad. I don't know Age of Sigmar. But if you want to see the rules... Oh, so you got this thing, which looks like Cities of Sigmar again, which is surprising. I mean, it could be Cathayan, I guess. It could be Empire Old World. Could be Bretonian for all I know. Back when they had a literal toilet with a machine gun. And they had wizards of machine guns. Yeah. I guess nothing too interesting today. What do you think this is going to be, though? Do you think it's going to be Cities of Sigmar? It would be weird if it's Cities of Sigmar. They've had so many releases recently. Like the Skaven release came with Cities of Sigmar. The big Cog Fortress was the Cities of Sigmar thing. It also came with, you know, the City of Sigmar, not Codex Army book, and, you know, a whole load of new units of them. It's great. They've been getting loads of new stuff. Cities is quite popular right now, yeah. It's got a little key on it. Like a little keyhole. You ever hide cafe golems as dwarves in Total War? Warhammer 3, since they don't have the early golems unless you mod them. I've never hired the cafe and golems in as a dwarf, I think. The 20. Oh, that's what I wanted to look. I want to look at the website because I want to use these little fellas. These little friendly friends. When is this from? 2023. These little friendly friends that are here as cultist firebrands, which is going to be a harder conversion than I really expected it to be because they're very monoposal models. 23 pounds. Cultist firebrand. Yeah, I'm not paying 23 quid for a monopose. Look at this kit. Terrible. It's on a 32mm base. And it's on a slot base, a slotter base. Ugh. Oh yeah, look at it. It's got yeah, it's terrible. Well, we can put them onto 32mm. I guess we can keep them on their molded base too. I don't know what conversions I'll actually do for them. Like, look, they've got like these weird neck things and stuff. 23 bucks is a lot. It is a lot. For a single cultist who's not very good. Why I don't want to use him? Because it's got a big old flamethrower. Also, just because it goes well with my cultist army. But yeah, I guess I could use these and say it's magic fire for using. I don't know what I'm going to do with a giant one who's on the 40mm base. I guess they're not, there's nothing too important on their base for them. Like that is a 40mm, isn't it? I think this is 40mm. Yep, that's 40mm. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. If we got that, I guess I could use. Actually, I do want to get eventually a second covenant. I could use them as a leader of another covenant. Oh yeah, I've been painting these guys. They're almost finished now. You know, trying to get the little ocean theme on them. It's going okay. I feel like I'm getting worse the more I do with them. I did the highlights and stuff on the main armor too. I just need to do the gold now. I even gave the eyes like a little light flash there. Yeah. The base looks cool. The base does look cool, but there's nothing that goes on that size of base. I mean, I guess I could have a Chaos Saucer or something. I don't even think there's any Slaneshi units that go on a 40mm base in 40k. Seems like the right side of each model is done a little better than their left sides. So their left side here is done worse than this side. Well, that's partly because what I did, I purposely followed the folds in the fabric and the material with, you know, so on each model, this side has loads of folds and stuff and bends of the fabric. While on this side, there's not very much to it. So I purposely just followed those things because I thought it'd be cool. Like, I'm imagining that the water effect, like their cloaks are... The way you can have that material that changes colour as you put pressure onto it. I'm imagining that they actually have coats made out of that sort of material and it starts to go cyan to white as it goes, as you know, it's folded and bent. Around where it's folded and bent. And then when it goes back to, you know, being more flat, it goes back to its normal colour. That's what I'm imagining why they have that effect. It's not... Because, I mean, they are AdMech. You'd imagine that they'd have something like that going on. I love your VTuber model. Thank you. It was made by Nico. And it has a giant... Like, I'm like rubbing my eye because it hurts because of hay fever. I got a giant hat. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. And also, I can play basketball. Do, 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 do. I mean, I don't think you're meant to have both hands of a ball when you're playing basketball. That's why Cuptle's orange, by the way. So what if we go into dry brush and panel highlight some part of the mini? Which would you do first? Dry brush, then panel highlight. Otherwise, you're just going to be brushing over your highlights. I became a Chinese. You became a Chinese. Oh, you got a little cafe hat. And look, you got a little lantern. Oh, and oh, you got Mimiko has what's it called? Little cat ears and oh my gosh, flying. You got the star and a little wand. It's an awesome witch hat. Thank you. Why do I have cat ears on right now? I did that. Love Mimiko's little magical. Oh, so I like how when you pinned Mimiko, you got the thing. Oh, the star. Yeah, I've been trying to play. I'll finish these guys off stream, hopefully before tomorrow's stream. If I'm not exhausted. I've been exhausted after the stream, and then I'm like trying to learn my Japanese. I'm trying to figure out how to balance my day. If I can wake up at 6 and actually then just stay awake and not do what I did today and fall back to sleep a couple of times and have ridiculous nightmares. I had ridiculous nightmares. It was hilarious. For thingamajig. For thingamajig. Thingamajig. Is it a bit dark? Yeah, it's a bit dark today. I'm going to have to like change my settings a bit on the video. Look away if you got photosensitive epilepsy or something similar. I could either do this. Then turn on the light. Is that a bit better? It's hard to tell. Is this better? No, it's the same. It's the same. She dreamed she was in Italy. I did dream. I dreamed I was... So I fell asleep for like 20 minutes, right? I just fell asleep for 20 minutes, but it felt like absolute days. And to emphasize how many days it felt like, I had about 6 or 7 different dreams. One of them was I was on a bus going to a destination. I knew what the destination was. It would just never reach its destination. I then also like partly wake up and fell back asleep again and like was dreaming again. I was on a bus, but I was in Italy and I had no idea where I was going and I was like panicking.
6-7 you say?
Oops. Turn this off. Oh gosh, that exposure's too high. There we go, that's better. 6-7, 6-7. Yeah, 6-7 dreams. What else happened? Oh yeah, I dreamt I was being hunted. Okay, one of the last dream I had of that patch of dreams was I was being crushed and was somebody there to help me, but they couldn't see me because it was the thing that was crushing me and I couldn't say. I was trying to say, please help me, but I couldn't. And that was bad. I also dreamt my Warhammer melted. I dreamt I was being hunted by something. I dreamt I was in a sea of blood. This is all within 20 minutes, by the way, and each of them felt hours long. Oh yeah, I've had like dreamt I fell over and my clothes tore. I was meeting someone new. But most horrifying of all, I dreamt I was in a social setting with people and laughing and eating pizza and playing games. Horrifying! Oh gosh. Being out, people, have people in real life? Oh, scary. But also then I like fell asleep again after waking up. And that dream was about being part of like some weird invasion of Earth. And then they were like, I accidentally was like, I should probably get them to stop the invasion. This sounds like a bad idea. And then I accidentally just convinced them instead to release like a wave of maniacs early on instead.
How's my favorite girl doing?
How's my favorite girl doing? I'm doing okay-ish. I don't know how your favorite girl's doing though. 6, 7. So what are we doing? Oh yeah, I dreamt I was like part of this weird invasion-y force. But like the entire when the maniacs were released, like just to go on a rampage. Apparently for some reason I was released with them. And the entire thing was we had to get to a oh yeah, for some reason they really liked cats. I can't remember if I convinced them or not to like cats and let the cats off. So we had to get to like certain restaurants or something, and we had to bring a cat to each of the restaurants so we could give the cats a nice meal. And the restaurants had like were being run by like spies who were already went ahead and stuff. Oh, and then I was feeling really bad. I was like, oh no, look at this poor person who's died. Oh look, we've got a journal on them. This is a pretty thick journal. Opened it up. I thought I was like, oh gosh, this is a really thick journal. So much writing. I was just like, I can't be bothered reading this. And I dropped it. And then I woke up. Again, that was like another like 10-minute dream. Oh gosh. That implies you were one of them. It's true. Apparently, for some reason, I tried convincing them to stop an invasion, instead just caused them to make the invasion even worse, and somehow convinced them I was like one of the most bloodthirsty soldiers. I can't even remember what I said in the
Misery
dream.
word of the day, flower man, flower man, flower man, with his heart in the sand.
Flower man with his heart in the sand, he's gonna save us all, it's true. Okay, no, I don't have enough fiend spoos here. Where's my other fiend spoos? There should be a third one. It's not there. It's not enough. That's one fiend. That's a second fiend. Where would the third fiend be? Oh wait. Oh no, never mind. 1 fiend, 2 fiend, 3 fiend. Never mind. We only need 2 spoos. Sorry, I was a bit insane for a second there. England got custody of Miku. Just drinking tea and stabbing people in alleys now. Nice! Miku do 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 do. Ever try combining the old modern paint jobs of Thousand Suns, red and gold and blue and gold? I've never tried painting a Thousand Suns, let alone combined colour schemes. Your uniform reminds me of Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Clubs. I don't know that thing. Red and blue and gold sounds very neat with the amount of contrast. Red, blue and gold. Wait, that's kind of like these guys. Red, blue, gold. Wait. She's not, I've not managed to get any more work done on this one. But red, blue and gold. Look at that. Yick. Okay, how do we actually build one of these things? This is a question. The answer is probably check the instructions, but That requires reading instructions. And I was born to lead, not to read. Was the Romanian flag red, blue and yellow? I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever been to Romania. You can't know that sort of stuff. But anyone who's Romanian watching, my mod is Romanian, so we make fun of him for that. We'd make fun of him wherever he came from. That's the main thing. We just like making fun of a mod. It's actually blue, yellow and red. Blue, yellow and red. It should be yellow, red and blue. I could never remember the order. Red, yellow and blue. Red, yellow and blue. Okay, so this is part of the Fiends. It looks like a happy little dancing person, doesn't it? Like, you know, the legs of a jester going. My king, and like doing a ting, where you clap your feet together. I'm imagining that goes with this piece. And this piece. Piece number 8. Wait, 14, 17. Wait, is it like themed characters or something? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that makes sense. 14, 17, 8 would go with this one. So 20 would go with this one. That's me. He says I'm Romania the same. Decadence is saying the price of a product. Bless me. Look, the mods are for product. Bless me. Yes, bless me. Thank you. That is hay fever. Hay fever's a big old button for Ow! Why do you throw a full can of cola at my face? Actually, no. Thank you for the cola. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm out of water. Open another bottle of water. Nice and cold because it's been in the fridge. I'm getting fiber optic broadband soon. The broadband people came here to prep the house. It's like, oh yeah, fiber optics. I'm gonna go from like 60 megabytes on a good day to like 1.5 gigabytes. Oh. Is it mega to giga? I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's not bytes, it's bits, isn't it? It's bits. It's different. I miss pop soda. Pop soda. Brown, brown, brown. My cadre of VTubers, other than the American ones, come from Japan, the British Commonwealth, especially Australia. For Australian VTubers. Oh, they're both doing little dances. Okay, so this goes like... This must go somehow onto here. I imagine. This is mostly going to be guesswork. But you know, it's going to be amazing guesswork, so... Okay, that definitely goes like that. No, but now there needs to be an underpiece. We measure it in megabits per second, but maybe in Britain they decided it is Link Plonks. No, 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 no. It's megabit. Mega bits. Mega man. Do. Ba-da-da-da-da. Okay, 27. Okay, I think it's 2701. Yeah, 27. When are these spoos from? For some reason, I thought they were... No, 2018. For some reason, I thought they were as old as the Demonettes. But they're not. Oh, it goes there. Perfect. I spilt my plastic glue yesterday. Like when I was cleaning up after the stream and I hadn't put the lid on properly. It didn't fall over. It just, you know, splashed up into the lid and then poured out of the lid. I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. I had to ventilate my room for a little bit while I cooked some pasta. I cooked some pasta, yeah. I'm gonna have the rest of it today. I love myself some pasta. It's just a pasta and a bolognese sauce. Homemade bolognese sauce because I can't eat anything. Hi, bugs! There are many demons here. I gotta tell the Grey Knights. Also, hello, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Don't worry, you can tell the Grey Knights we need something to play with. Right, the demons need things to play with. Don't worry. We just want to make friends. Oh, it goes like that. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah, fiends are very weird creatures of Slaanesh. They're like weird centaur horse things with backwards legs and crab claws and anteater tongues. They're like half person. It is very weird. The demons though, so you know. They're meant to look weird. God darn it, falling to pieces. Okay, I'll get Titus then, see how that works out. Don't worry, Titus is too busy with a 500 words campaign to spend. Oh, so he's like on the other side of the galaxy. I need to mute. My nose is being a mess. Mute button. What are the Grey Knights going to do? Be law relevant? Grey Knights be law relevant. What have the Grey Knights ever done for us? Hey, except get rid of demons. And make everyone else look good. Titus is too busy for 500 worlds on the other side of the Great Rift. I'm not sure he's going to bother taking out a small Night Lord warband just because it can summon a few demons. And my Templar army is going to be in a much better position to deal with them. Have they ever gotten rid of any important demon? Yeah, they got rid of Angron for a little bit on Armageddon. Hmm. 6, 2, 3, 5, 11, 12. 54. 19, 32, 18. Okay. Turns out I should be attaching parts to them.
Ahoy Cupcake, how are you?
Ahoy Foxy, how are you? I'm okay. How are you doing? I'm trying to figure out how these bits go together. It might be a losing battle, but you know. Okay, might go on this leg. Nope. Nope. But I am like, this is not easy to do. I thought it was the demonettes that would give me trouble. It turns out it's the fiends that are the hellish ones to put together. As much as I love them. I'm doing good. No, nothing's wrong. I'm just focused. Oh wait, it goes here. It goes here! We figured it out! And by we, I mean my genius has done it again. Oh yeah. Okay, one of these other legs is this one. This one wants something on it. I'm gonna guess 18. Okay, no, that goes there. Definitely. It fits perfectly. Because this goes here. We got 18 and 19. We need to find like 15 or 16 of these things. Oh, found 16. Now I just need to find 15. There it is. It's 15 sort of people. My gosh, they really just scattered around to spoof these pieces. Like, the bits that go together are not next to one another, which you kind of expect they would be. No, it's just like... It's like they just threw the bits at the board and was like, nah, it will sort itself out. Not even together, just one at a time, just at different parts
Cupcake.
of the display. Hi Douglas, how you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. I missed you, give you lots of likes. I missed you too. Hi Douglas. There we go. Okay, I need to mute again. Hay fever's really kicking my butt today. I'm here. I'm again. Alive. Okay, we need a tail on them. And we need a body. Oh, 24 probably goes with them. So take 24. Oh my gosh. Look at this torso. Such a cool torso. 9. I alive, I'm till like, no! We could give it this tail, I imagine. Nah, no, for tails, never mind. But each tail goes on a specific body. Okay, so 22. 22 will work. And 21. 22 and 21. Which feels like it's still not the end of a tail. So we've got 21, 22, 24. So we'll probably look for 23. But yes, we'll probably look for 23, which is it here? That's 39. 25. There we go. That's the end of a tail. It looks like each tail has a unique part where it goes onto the body. It doesn't look like these things are too customizable. Which I guess for demons, they're not meant to be. I mean, they're not like the tyrannid swarms. They're all kind of, you know, clones of one another. Just flung out in a seething mass. It looks like it will break very easily, if I'm entirely honest with you. But that's why we can glue it here. Yeah. Like, that's good. It's got 2 connection points in the end. It's less likely to break. I might have put it on upside down. Or sideways? No, I put it on sideways, never mind. Or did I? No, I don't think I did. That doesn't look correct. Okay, no, it goes like this. It goes like that. Okay. Now this goes under booty of the weird horse legs. I told you for demons. They're weird. Evil, evil demons. There we go. Oh, big old tail. Yeah. Now that will sit back here. Oh, that's a perfect counterbalance. What the heck? This fits itself. Well, okay, now we've got 25 and 24 to work with. We've already cut off 24. We just need 25. Well, a wonderful day. Miss you. Cuptle is also having a wonderful day. Don't worry about it. There we go. And there's the body. Once again, being all flineshy. And that goes onto there, I think. Demon of success. Fiends are such weird creatures. Like, if you told me about Slaanesh and what Slaanesh does and stuff, you wouldn't think fiends would be the creatures that Slaanesh would use a lot of. But no, Slaanesh loves themes. Like, you'd think, oh, yeah, obviously for one of the main demons that Slaanesh uses is this weird backwards like centaur thing with big old crab claws. You know, the demon god of excess, extravagance, and stuff like that. Gluttony, basically. Greed. Yeah, big old centaur thing with backwards legs. Fiends have they do have long tongues. They're eating ants because they're little anteaters. Anteater, anteater. They're gonna anteater everyone. Okay, so it looks like I can put any of the claws in any model. That's nice. That's very nice. But it looks like there are some options, like there's different tail options as well. But what's the head we want to use? 56. Where's the other head? 55. We have 56 and 55. We have two different heads. 54 goes to 55, it looks like. And maybe 53 too. And then you've got 49. 56 goes to 57 and 58. And 49 would probably have to go with, I guess, 50, 51 and 52. I'll just knock that model over. 53, 54, 55. 56, 55, 57, 58, sorry. 12, 51. Oh, there's 51. There's 50. And where's 52? And 61, 62. No, I know where 51 is. Oh, 52. 52, I don't see 52 anywhere. Tell me if you see 52 anywhere. Oh, where's 52? Ah, okay. What's like for 60 parts though? 60s look like they could replace the other head parts. Maybe. Or do they go up front? Like, I'm gonna have to check what the 60s actually go on. Not that. Okay, so 60 and 61. Can be used in place of one of the heads. Huh. Okay, they're just different head parts of a champion. Okay, that makes sense. Do we want this one to be for champion, do you think? We could make it for We could make it for champion. A champion doesn't really matter in 40k, if I'm entirely honest with you. You know what, we'll just go with 56. I'm happy with that. Nah, we'll just go with this one, 49. We saw 49. We'll go with 49. It looks like any other heads can go on any other bodies. I think. Unless I'm incorrect. Yeah, fiends are really weird looking. I love them. But what the heck's going on with these? I do not believe a fiend can actually run super fast with these. Get back on. Get back on. Honestly, this is a really difficult model to put together. Like, it's just so weird. And you got so many spindly bits that you want to put pressure on, but the moment you put pressure on, they're just going to start moving apart. You can definitely tell this was not one of the earliest models, but it's not one of the latest models either. But yeah, there we go. We got the long Anteater tongue. Look at that! Look at the Anteater face. Again, it's really weird that this is meant to be one of the creatures. Like, Slanesh looked at crabs, anteaters, centaurs, and said, yes, let's just smash them together and see what comes out of it. And kind of snakes, I guess, as well. And I like that. I like that tail. I've always wanted fiends. I thought fiends were super, super cool. That kind of sucks if they're not actually that good. Oh, 26. Yeah, we need 26. Forgot about that. We need to give it a loincloth. A loincloth! Why wouldn't it have a loincloth? Tell me that. There goes, that goes there. To cover its non-existent loins. Oh no, this is going to be not very fun to paint if I actually do glue it to the base right now. Finding it under here would be difficult. I mean, I've got to try basing it in pink. Or purple or something. Nah, it won't be too bad, I guess. Okay, I need a lot of glue to get this to stick. I think this bit's a sprue attached to its feet still. Okay, I need... It is... not that piece. This piece, yeah. It's really weird. It's like... this piece goes with that piece, and that piece on this other sprue. Oh my gosh, who's looking forward to the new ogres though? I'm kind of looking forward to the new ogres. I'm not sold on the new design aesthetic for them though. But maybe I just got nostalgia for the old one. Not that I liked the old one massively, mind you. Afternoon, Control. Hello, Empress White Ball. How are you both doing? You come in here and turn me into a cupcat. Oh. Why I oughta sing a song and get along. Okay, guessing this is meant to be a hole. But the hole doesn't exist. Model part. I've fallen to the floor. The breaking of a more. Where did it go? I dropped a piece and it vanished into the ether. I found it. It moved and I saw it. Hello, kid. I'm not a kitty. I'm not a kitty. You're a kitty. You're a kitty. Ow, my nail. As mentioned earlier, I accidentally destroyed my nail. Wait a minute. Well, I don't think I needed these two bits. I think it was an either or section. Yeah, it was either or. Oh, so this could go here. Or it could go for... Amazing. You know, we'll give it this cool thing. Thank you, Tubby Mask, I guess. Your shot got blocked in Russia? Yeah, I guess so. Actually, I don't think YouTube works over there right now. Without a VPN. Big old scary. He does not want to stay on his base, does he? Or she? It. Hey, they don't want to stay on the base. Slanesh is very inclusive. I could just stick to the base. Do you have any Ravages yet? No, I do not have the Beastman units yet. I kind of want some, but I don't have them. Cheshire Powers. Hi, Seredwin. You can't turn me into a cupcat because I thought you're being beaten to it. No. Hey, who took my bit? Emperor did it. Just came in, stole your bit. On my short list, I'm going to get another kill team. The main thing that's made me not get them is that for like 60 points now, and for like a 50 quid kit, well, it's more like 45 quid, but they're really expensive, and it's not like very super customizable either. I mean, they're not bad. That's the main thing. It's like, ugh. Oh wait, this claw can't go on there. I guess I need a different claw then. This one will do fine. The claws are all interchangeable, that's nice. What's a good pet point to dollar value? In Chaos, Forge Fiends are not bad. 170 points, 165 minimum, or something like that. Or is it 160 minimum and up to 175 points, or something that's about the same, a bit more than Ravengers. You've got obviously the Land Raider being 200 and something points, so that's not bad. Legionnaires themselves, Nemesis Claws are pretty good points to pound value for about the same price as Ravagers. Yeah, but if you build them as Nemesis Claws and not Legionnaires, they're like, what, 190 point squad? Cultists aren't great for 50 points rather. Or is it 45 now? For a 30 quid model. 30 quid box set. Okay, Space Marine kill teams look great. Legionnaires are 170 points. But you get lots and lots of bits of them, so it's a pretty good kit. I'm trying to think what was like. Ooh, Obliteratus. The Obliteratus and Venom Crawler, that's 270 points. They're not a great kit, mind you. Okay. No! I really want Slanesh Marine Vampires. I know for default should be Khorne or Night Lords, but I really want Slanesh. Look, I'm building Slaneshi Night Lords, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Well, actually, I'm building Nurgly Night Lords and Slaneshi Night Lords and Sietchian Night Lords and Undivided Night Lords. But Armies of Chaos. Chaos Space Marines. So, I mean, obviously you got things like for Battle Forces, which and for combat patrols, which are better points values. But yeah, this is 49 quid for 270 points of models. That's not the worst thing ever. But look at this, you got Chosen at 40 quid. And then if we go to, actually no, they don't have a Beastman, they stopped them, haven't they? For repackaging them or something. Oh no, they are here. £42.50. Yeah, it's £2.50 more for Beastman compared to Chosen. Rubik Marines are really good. They're like 190 points for that squad. Yeah, Forge Fiends are 175-ish points. Khorne Lord of Skulls, like 600 points or something. Stupid. Mutilators are, what, 180 points? That's 220 points. Roughly, or 210. I guess Abaddon's pretty good. It's like 240 points or something stupid. And you got Fashtor as well. The Deviler is, what, 300 and something points now for 88 quid. So yeah, Fiends are definitely on the lower end of points per pound. On top of that, also just usability per pound. Like, Beastmen in 40k aren't that good. I mean, they're not bad. But it's like, you could just get Traitor Guard instead, much cheaper. And they can do a bit more. Or you can get Cultists and get sticky objectives. Or you can have half a squad of Legionnaires. So it's just everything that the Beastmen can do. Or you can have Spawn if you want to as well. Which are cheaper. And more versatile. How about the Sanctifier's kit? Oh, Sanctifier's kit's pretty good. I don't know what that is in terms of point. Because I love the Sanctifier's kit. It's really, really good for bits. And really, really great for conversions. So I've never really built it as it's meant to actually be. I plan to get another one. Because I'm using them as like sergeants and stuff in my thingy army. But yeah, you get a priest, you get a squad of 9 sanctifiers. What are they? 100 points, I think. And then this guy's like another 30 points, so 130 points. But you get loads of bits. You get like melter guns, flamethrowers, plasma guns, chainswords, lots of different relic pieces, lots of really fun models in here. Amazing kit. As I said, it's really good for just making conversions in kit bashes with, so you can get a lot of points value from it. You can make multiple priest models. If you just get some bases, you can make multiple priest models if you want to. Like 6 or 7 of them, and a psyker. Oh, there we go. So we got a fiend. This feels like an extremely fragile model. But now we need to build a second fiend. So we'll start with piece 28, piece 31. You just got to play kill team with yourself. Then that YouTube censored that. That's fine. If you just get it to play kill team by yourself, then yeah, any of the kill teams are worthwhile. Whether it be Felgors or Sanctifiers or whatever. If you want them for 40k though, Some of the kill teams are a bit ridiculous. Not all of them are very good either in the game. The Falgars aren't bad. There's definitely plays to be made of them. And as I said, I still think I might get 3 of them anyway, or it might just take normal beastmen and convert them. For the price. Okay, so that's piece 28. That means I need a little claws for piece 28. We're going to want 29. 11, 6, 2, 3, 5. 32, 33, 36, 29. There we go. Oh, that's 29. That's 30. Okay. Gosh, the kill team starter and Wrecker crew had a blast either playing by myself or with others. Yeah, the starter set is a pretty, as you can imagine, a very good place to start with kill team. It could definitely be much better value for money than what it is. But whatever. The Wrecker crew is an amazing box set. Both of the Orc kill teams are amazing box sets. The Commandos are ridiculously good. Think of getting Strike Scorpions and Exodites. Exodites also look like they'll be good. Striking Scorpions, not a bad one either. There's not many, like, specific kill teams that were built mostly just for kill team. There's not really many amongst them that are actually bad. The Falgars look like they'll be fine. They do look like a fun kit. My advice only just goes to 40k with these things. Oh, wait, Ravagers, aren't they the... Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Ravagers are the Beastmen, aren't they? Yeah, Tempestans Aquilians. Tempestans Aquilians is an amazing kit. I absolutely adore it. Even if it is just to get some Elysians. I have Hernkin Jaegers. Hernkin Jaegers! Kill team starters that used to be bad because Angel of Death can't form a legal comp, but new rules changes fix that. Oh. And it's still not great because she gets in a bunch of... You're paying, what is it, 60 quid? For a proper retail price. 60 quid for a bunch of push fit models. In my opinion, that's what makes it kind of bad. It's like they could have easily made that a lot cheaper than what it is. And it's only MDF terrain or something in, isn't it? Or cardboard or whatever. It's not proper plastic terrain. Battleclade Edmech just looks sick. Oh, I have 2 of the Battleclade ones now. That one's actually good. It's only 105 points if you were to use it in 40k. But it's got lots of cool bits to use, lots of spare bits once you finish building it. The bits that are compatible with other human models, like, you know, Cadians and stuff. If you want to just add some cybernetics to them, which is amazing. And they're pretty good info rules, in my opinion, for Battleclades. And it comes with a Techno-Archaeologist. The Techno-Archaeologist is probably the most disappointing part of the kit, again, just being a monopose model. That's not very good. But I do think the techno-archaeologist gets a bit of a bad rep. How do I... Uma... How do I... Uma must have made this up. Is that it? That's it. Now I've got it together. How the heck do I... No! I dropped it. How did K start? Does that at least get me interested? I have a head... Oh, I like the Jaegers as well. I love the Jaegers. I wish they were better in 40k though. I don't really play kill team. I just get all the kill teams of the different armies that they can go into. Okay, there we go. So this one goes together a lot nicer than the other one, actually. The two body parts, because you're not trying to stick 4 bits together or trying to hold each other up. I've also got the stealth suit, and the stealth suit one was awful to build. Mostly because I wanted to customize and like swap some of the arms around and stuff and change the position of the arms. And they've just designed it in such an infuriating way. I really hated it. Because it's a modern kit. They didn't have to design it that way. And they chose to anyway. And it's like, no. No, Games Workshop. Why did you do this to me? You've slighted my family. You get how people get sucked in. I already want to do 100 different models next. Same. I have so many ongoing projects right now. It's kind of not fun. Yeah, this fiend goes to... I'm gonna make this one for champion. This fiend goes together so nicely compared to the other one. Vespids are amazing. I did like the Vespids. Again, they had a bit of a weird arm joint. It was difficult trying to make sure they go together. Okay, which end of a tail do we want? Oh, let's go for the Slaneshi looking dagger. That's cool. Slaneshi symbol looking dagger. There we go. There we go. The Legionnaire kill team wasn't that great. I really liked the Corsair kill team. Again, just wish it was better in 40k. The Legionnaire one, actually no, I've never used the kill team one, but the kill team's just an upgrade spoo. We've done the Nemesis class. The upgrade spoo is amazing for the Nemesis class. It's just the Legionnaires are a bit disappointing. It would have been cooler. It would have been cooler if they could just have the upgrade spoo separate from the Legionnaire kit. But no, if I ever want to get more Night Lord bits, I mean, we're going to have to hope that someone on eBay is actually selling them. Or I'm going to have to buy a Legionnaire box. And often I have to buy a Legionnaire box because I'm like, okay, I want 10 heads. Who's selling heads? Oh, $6.99 per head. I might as well just buy the full Legionnaire box. Or the full Nemesis Claw box. And you get plenty of spare bits. Like, you got loads of Night Lord heads, more than enough to make your kill team and then modify some other models as well. But it's like, if you don't want any more Nemesis class, you don't want any more Legionnaires, it's a bit... I want the head done next. Which head do I want to go for? It was it's the fat one, yeah, with a big old ponytail. That's the champion head. And that's the one that uses the bits labelled 60. Because it is part 59, yeah. Gosh, got to very carefully cut this model off the sprue here. With all these long, thin parts. Nail. I cut through, you know, using this knife. I went straight through my nail. Like, whoosh. So my nail is currently split by the knife, and it's really painful where it went through. Because obviously, because it went deep into the healthy part of the nail, I can't just remove it, well, without putting myself in a bunch of pain. I'm just going to have to wait for it to grow out. I'm very used to using my nails. 60 and 61. Which horns do you think look? I think these ones look cooler. Black Star Carthus, Gene Stealer, Rock Pusher, Commissar Graves. I do love Commissar Graves. The character's a bit reductive, but the model, beautiful. And Black Star Carthus also looks really cool. Gene Stealer Rock Crusher looks cool, but it's really small. And it was kind of disappointing that it was so small. It's like smaller than a blooming Chimera. Like significantly smaller. I was like, you're telling me the great big mining vehicle that's like meant to be a centerpiece model is... It's smaller than an Ark truck. It's about the same size as one of the Ark buggies. That's how stupid it is. I don't like it. But that's just how I feel about a lot of the Gene Stealer cult range. It's like, this is smaller than I expected. This kind of sucks. And like the aberrants, I expected to at least be Space Marine size, but no, they're barely bigger than a person. As you can tell, I still feel salty about it. So far, Gene Stealer cults has been the only army where I've picked up the models and felt worse about the faction. Like, Photon, I wasn't sure how to feel about Photon until I got my hands on my models and was like, no, these are amazing. I love them. Like, either the models that I thought weren't going to be very good, or like, I didn't really care too much. Once I got my hands on them and started building them, I'm like, no, these are really fun kits to make. There's a lot you can do with them, lots of spare bits. Nothing wrong with that. Do. The guy must... there we go. How big are these guys? Hi! They're massive! Takai means big in Japanese. I've been learning Japanese. Oh. Oh wait, I didn't even finish building his body. Oh no. Building their body. You know, I can put your head on for neck though. I got a bit carried away with myself there. He's half a man he used to be. You know, always said you're not living up to your fullest potential. I could say you're half your potential. Okay, 37 and 38. I think they go with these bits. Now, I don't care for vehicles as much as I didn't get the tank autism. I got the mech one. Yeah. I wasn't a big thing into like the vehicles and stuff. The Tau vehicles and mechs are really, really nice. I like all of them. Every single one we've built so far has been kind of a pleasure to build. The only disappointing part to it is the other crisis suit, where you don't get enough weapons to build any of the units. But I've even seen like Games Workshop staff members, like, do you know, the Games Workshop headquarter people use crisis suits without the actual weapons and stuff. You're like how I did, where the kit doesn't come with enough fusion guns. Well, it's still armed with fusion guns. Well, that's what they do. So that's the official way to deal with it. You don't need to buy multiple kits. You don't need to do anything. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Can I get a Space Marine? Oh, Berserker here. For scale. Banana for scale. The Berserker's got to get eaten. Tau Crisis. The Tau Crisis Commander is absolutely beautiful. For Ghost Scale, amazing. The only bad thing I'd say is every broadside, both broadside battlesuits I've had have had a printing error on them. That made it so if I wanted to build the missile variant, thankfully I didn't, I wouldn't be able to build it. Because the missiles just won't go together. Because of the defect in them. So, I gave my commander 2 spare fusions of the crisis suits and shield generators. Oh. Oh, I stole. What did I steal for mine? Oh yeah, I had to steal. That's the thing. The Devilfish doesn't actually come with the missile drones, so I had to steal the missile drones from one of the other. Was it from Broadside that has the missile drones? I'm like, yeah, I'm not giving them that for missile drones. I'm giving my Broadside skill the extra shield, so they've got more survivability to them. They don't get taken out by a single last cannon shot or something. Oh gosh. Be careful. Okay. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely. Do 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 do. Turn around. There we go. And then we can put this arm on the other one. Hi, Necro Goblin. Get multiple commanders. I'm at 5. You can have up to 6 commanders. I have 1 commander. I have 3 crisis battle suits, 1 ghost heal. I plan to get a 2nd ghost heal. I've got 5 stealth suits. I can't find my battle suit. I mean, it gives some blooming space marine level stats, so you know. Yeah, 1 squad of stealth suits. I want to get a 2nd squad, but I kind of felt bad about my 1st squad with the weird design of them. With how the arms fit together mostly. I kind of don't want to get a 2nd squad. Look how flat the top of his head is. Like, what? I thought it was like something I would have to put on top of it, but no. Okay, that they really just want to stay together. I used Representative Crisis suits and stealth teams. Last one I used had 2 biscuits. I was an experimental weapons cadre player with my Tau. And as a result, I built my commander with, you know, a fusion blade, an iron rifle, I think it was, a burst, do you know, for high output rate burst cannon, shield generator, 2 shield drones, and now I don't get my blooming fusion blade. I don't have any of the other weapons either. In fact, you know, you can upgrade, so I'm like, that's how it makes me feel. Just snap the sprue. Out of 24 crisis suits with different loadouts, so 3. I've got my 3 crisis suits are all fusion ones. Although I just gave them, you know, for extra shields and stuff that comes in the crisis suit box, and some plasma weapons mounted on the shoulders to represent the extra fusion guns. I could steal a sword from a friend's gunpla and glue it to my commander for a fusion blade. Yeah. Oh, but maybe don't steal. Ah. If I assume that's what you meant anyway. Oh wait, no, I don't need it. No, I don't need it. I was thinking I forgot the little tabard, but I didn't. I didn't for a little loincloth. Okay, what do we want next? 1 more fiend. 1 more fiend. Do 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 do. 1 more fiend. Da, 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 da. We gotta build for fiends. We gotta sell for fiends. We gotta make them every day. Okay, so we're on to fiend number 1. This is literally piece 1. We're doing it last. We're not doing for piece last, but you know. Then we want 2 and 3 for the little claws. Yeah. I also want to get a Storm Surge eventually. But I've decided I'm not going to get anything new. I might get the new introductory set, but I might wait a month for that one. Until I've built all of my chaos stuff. I've got them all organized properly. And then my main goal now, after that, will be to slowly build up some of the other model kits I've got. Like my Kriegsmen. We might do a stream where I just build as many Kriegsmen as I can. And we're just going to paint. My Photon are all undercoated, so are my Necrons. So both of the Necrons should be a quick scheme. I've still not had a chance to undercoat my Custodes. I'm not going to do it on Thursday this week. But they should be a quick scheme, the Necrons to do. I've got to finish painting the Mechanicus that we started painting. I've got a bunch of Orc stuff that's undercoated that I want to paint as well. I know there's going to be a bunch of new Orc stuff, like a new truck so I might eventually get that. What detachments are you going to go for your tower? I can't remember what I did with them. So I can show you my tower. I've got Vespids because I love Vespids. Okay, I'll show you my army list with my tower in. I generally just build to an army list and then just leave it at that. So here we go, Tau. I got a Cadver Fireblade, a Commander in Cold Star Battlesuit. Technically, I also have a Crucible Champion guy who's meant to lead the Pathfinders. I don't think most people want to play with that anymore. So 2 units of Stealth Battlesuits is what's meant to be in it. And what's the detachment? Advanced Acquisition Cadver and Retaliation Cadver. Because both of them just kind of fit the theme of what I'm going for. So the idea is that the Tau went through like a... Well, it's like some sort of wormhole or portal or whatever opened up somewhere. The Tau sent a scouting force through it, and then the portal closed. And these guys were scouting force. Now trapped on the other side of a galaxy. And presumed dead. So yeah, so we're going to have the stealth suits doing their stealth suity stuff. And then the battle suits doing battle suit stuff, I guess. I don't really feel for this list as much. I really loved the experimental weapons cadre one. But with that being gone, I just don't feel the same pull off a Tau anymore without it. Like, it wasn't the best one. I just really liked it. I'm sad for Chaos. Make the Force serve you. Yeah, we can definitely use Chaos. Chaos won't be you. Definitely not. So no E for you. They will lose Link just like Foresight's Carfly. Yeah, so they only sent in the a scouting force and the potential, like, maybe if an ethereal did go with them, but the ethereal died. Maybe that's why they assumed dead. But if they just sent a scouting force and the portal closed soon after, so you've basically just got a few ships with a few things. Thankfully, the scouting force did have enough materials to, you know, start setting up like colonies and stuff. And for Lost Civilization for them to work with, that was just all too happy to, you know, have some sort of support that had ships. So yeah, so the entire thing is there's a bunch of battle suits, there's a bunch of stealthy stuff. So we got 2 of these stealth suits, 2 of the ghost heals, Sunforge just because I like melter weapons and fusion weapons, 2 broadsides because one of the broadsides had a defect. And as a result, I complained and I got a second broadside which had the same defect. I'm like, I'm just going to live with it this time round. I don't want a 3rd broadside. Then we got the Storm Surge, just because I think that will be a super cool model to build and stream. The Devilfish, because I got the Combat Patrol. I think I got it second hand, actually. Breacher Team, because Breacher Team is cool. And also the experimental weapons cadre, they would have had plus 6-inch range and we can't get it anymore. Pathfinders, because Pathfinders are cool. So yeah, I like this. It's a fun list. It's just without my fusion blades, I'm sad. But yeah, actually my entire thing is of this for my Chaos army that we're doing, it's my Night Lords fell to Chaos because basically you had the Lieutenant, which was a sorcerer, fall into Chaos because they wanted more power and more magic, and as a result fell to Sinch. Well, they're kind of falling to Sinch slowly, but then the aging warlord of the warband was like, oh no, they're gaining more power, and I'm getting weaker in my thousands of years age. So he fell to Nurgle to gain more power. He was like, I need more power. I'll make a pact with a demon, and then I'll summon more demons, and I'll consume the demons of her essence. And yes, was he became completely corrupted. Meanwhile, the Cinchian lieutenant was like, "Oh my gosh, the warlord's gaining more power. I need more power. Otherwise, now the warlord has gained sorcery and magic through Nurgle contracts. They might replace me. I need to increase my power so I don't get replaced." And then it created a power struggle, which resulted in a Slaaneshi cult going unnoticed among the mortals and the ships. And eventually one of them rising to become a demon prince, and from even getting some of the fresh recruits into the space marines corrupted, turning them into noise marines. There we go. Chaos can affect Tau, but they tend not to do. They can't do it because of the link, and they get so little presence of war. But Farsight Enclave has been affected by Khorne multiple times, is true. The main thing about the Tau is that they live in an extremely rigid society. Out of all the societies in 40k, like, people say they wouldn't mind living in the Tau Empire. You'd only want to do that if you are not a Tau. If you are a Tau, you live in an extremely rigid society. You're going to be indoctrinated. You're not going to be allowed to really find love. You're not going to be allowed friends. Any friend you have is effectively one that the state has given you. Any partner you have is one that the state has given you. And basically everything and anything you do is the state deemed that you can. Your entire life is so strictly controlled that it's very difficult for cults to form. And if cults get formed, they get purged ruthlessly. And any evidence that they ever existed is just smoothed over. And it's like, what happened to Bob? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Bob. Oh, Bob, he got transferred. Got transferred. Yeah, definitely. He didn't fall to chaos and, you know, get purged. At least that's what I've sort of read about these kind of things. Like, there's been stuff with Gene Stealer cults in the Tau. But they, like, have such difficulty going into the Tau. Unless they go into the auxiliaries and, you know, for non-Tau parts of their society. Living as a member of a Tau race, though, must be kind of an indoctrinated hell from everything I've read about them. That being said, the lore of Tau is probably one of the most fluid ones at the moment, where a bunch of their books that they have are no longer considered canon. Like, you know, the Fire Warrior ones and stuff. And a lot of it's being retconned as well. They're still trying to find the place with Tau, I feel like. I just read like 3 Tau books, but Chris lying. She's an Imperial Inquisitor. You've just obviously read different Tau to what I have. You read Tau books. Propaganda. Now, most of my lore of the Tau comes from, you know, things like the Combat Patrol magazine, and like, they live in a rigid caste system. That being said, it could all just be Imperial propaganda. You never know. But don't they have a thing, like, with romance? I'm pretty sure I've read in, like, Tau lore that they're not allowed to have any romance. And their partners and stuff are all, you know, given to them by the state. Like, 2 people just be signed onto a breeding program. I'm pretty sure I read that in an official, what's it called? Bits of their law. And for other things, like in the Combat Patrol magazine, with like going through a fire warrior that wanted to be an artist, but they're not allowed to be an artist. And so they live their life as a fire warrior. And they're like, it's for the greater good. I can't do the job I would like. I can't do the things I would like. I was born a fire warrior and I have to be a fire warrior. I do have a Farsight book though, on audiobook, and I've just not gotten around to reading it. A lot of the time I would have spent like listening, like, you know, when I'm painting and stuff. I've spent, you know, putting animes on without any subtitles, so I'd have to try figuring it out for myself. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So I'm at the moment thinking, okay, I'll do watch anime when I'm eating my food. And when I'm painting, I can watch 1 episode of an anime. Maybe 2. And then I have to go back to doing audiobook. Manage my time. Farsight, as much as I love him and his books, is seriously bad portrayal of the Tau Empire. Farsight's books, basically. There's the only other Tau thing I read, it was a short story. I say a short story, it was a few. It's a few dozen pages. But it was all about the Farsight expanse and how, from the Tau perspective, the Farsight is like an evil person. Like, really evil. Like, from their perspective, Farsight is a the Farsight Enclave is a military junta led by a dictator who believes in a warrior class supremacy. Who is absolutely ruthless. Wastes the lives of his soldiers and his citizens, put people's lives at risk, and uses extremely brutal methods in warfare that should, but you know, the Tau think is extremely terrible. And it's also kind of cruel to like enemies of civilians and stuff. That's the thing I read about the Farsight Enclave so far. That wasn't from like Wikipedia or, you know, other lore tidbits. Well, from the Farsight Enclave's point of view, the Ethereals are the bad guys. I think the beauty of it, though, is that we will never really know the truth of, you know, are the Ethereals bad? Is Farsight bad? Are neither of them as bad as the other claim they are? Yeah, that's Tau Empire propaganda. Well, that being said, the only other thing I read about Farsight is it was a war against the Tyranids and how he effectively sacrificed an entire world, including the population of a planet, to fight the Tyranids. Well, there's multiple things he did. One, he purposely diverted the Tyranids to the Imperium, knowing he'll doom a bunch of people. That was really bad. Like, the Tau Empire would have a lot of qualms about doing something like that, especially to, you know, colonies of the Imperium that are, you know, relatively defenseless. and maybe a bit malleable to the Tau Empire taking them over. But when he was fighting the Tyranids on a planet and the war was not going very well, and he resorted to like doing these orbital bombardment campaigns that killed civilians, killed his own fire warriors. Like, do you know, for fire warriors, it's like, hey, fire warriors, hold the line against the Tyranid swarm. Orbital bombardment lands on top of his warriors. He also called an orbital bombardment on top of himself, but his force field saved his life. And his battle suit. His battle suit was messed up afterwards. And then he had to like drag around his sword by himself or something stupid. So yeah, it wasn't good. My assumption is that Farsight just got the worst ethereal to lead him and got the bad taste. I think there's a bit of truth to everything. Do the ethereals use some sort of weird mind powers to overpower the Tau? Potentially to some extent. Is it as bad as the Imperium says it is? Probably not. Is the Imperium as bad as the Tau say they are? No. I mean, in some cases, yes. But for the most part, the Imperium isn't as bad as, you know, it seems. There's definitely people within the Imperium that are absolutely terrible. Definitely parts of the Imperium that are even worse. But that could also be said for the Tau and the Ethereals and stuff. I mean, there's definitely been Ethereals that have been absolutely terrible. There's definitely been fire warriors that have also been extremely bloodthirsty. I think the hard thing to do with the Tau is I can't remember what I was going to say. The Tau are always kind of in a bit of an uphill battle, I guess, with the law. There we go. I think the purpose is trying to leave the Tau law as... Oh, what's the word? Up in the air, I guess, as possible, because of just how people have responded to the Tau in the past. Like, yeah, if people want the Tau to be evil, we'll give them just enough law to see, to, you know, say, oh yeah, the Tau are evil. If people want the Tau to be good, we'll give them enough law for the Tau to be good. If we want the Farsight to be the good guy, we'll give them just enough law for that to be the case. And if we want Farsight to be the bad guy, we'll give them just enough law for that to be the case. I think they're purposely like, just give the Tau enough law in pretty much every different area so that it's still bad. Farsight got a demon sword and he got 8 as his special unit. That is Farsight and 7 other Tau in battle suits in between them. On Earthcast and an AI. Yeah, it's yeah, we're having a demon sword and having 8 people in your council doesn't sound very good in 40k. 8 is like the devil number. That's a number of chaos, Farsight. If only he could read chaos. There we go. Oh no, I need to read more about Fatau. Most of what I have about Fatau either comes from really old lore, or things I've read on Wikipedia. We did have that thing in the Combat Patrol magazine, though. That made Fatau feel a bit dystopian. Actually, a common theme, probably the most common theme of Fatau, is how they kind of have that colonizer mentality. You know, looking down on other species that, you know, they're trying to lift up as just lesser than themselves. Like, the amount of times they just refer to humans as barbarians, as, just talk about how barbaric or backwards they are. It's just like, how. That doesn't sound very inclusive, Sophia. Farsight sword is xenotech, not chaos. It can be both. Don't forget that a lot of demon weapons were made by the Eldar for no other reason than trapping the demons inside the weapon. Like, they're not demon weapons because they wanted to get super powerful. They're demon weapons because they're like, oh no, these are dangerous demons. Can we kill it? Nope. Trap it in a sword. Trap it in a weird thing. I'm reading an Emperor's Children book right now that has a... The head fell off. Morsel, the head fell off from that guy. We're making fiends. Yeah, I'm reading an Emperor's Children book right now where it's... They had a demon... Oh my gosh, everything's just falling to pieces. A demon weapon. But they... Actually, they didn't have a demon weapon. They have a demon that's possessing a person. And one of the characters. And they originally got the demon because they found an Eldari sword. And he recognized it had significant power to it. But when he broke the sword in a battle, it released the demon and he let it possess himself. I believe. I can't remember if that's what happened. He might have just broken the sword to get the demon out. But yeah, Eldari really loved trapping demons in swords. So, if you... isn't that how Fulgrim fell, actually? He found a demon sword as well. But, you know, a xenotech. Fiends, the best beasts of chaos. They are the best beasts of chaos. They're a bit fiddly to build. The first one was definitely super fiddly. This one was much better. The third one is also a little better, but not as good as this one. Yes, Felgum fell to a demon sword, and the Xenos that had it looked like snake people. Oh yeah. Ah, Nico, hello! Did you get a haircut? I did get a haircut. I finally decided to start it's mostly just because I had to take more screenshots of thumbnails, and I finally got around to doing that. So now I can use this model. Yay! Because, you know, I can't use a model unless I put it in the thumbnail, because I'm silly like that. Although people have always had the option to turn me into this model, they just never used it. I'd love to trap a demon in my computer. I do feel dystopian in the Death Riders books, Death Corps books, but even in the end, the Gustave that got converted says that how monotony is significantly better than Imperium life. Yeah, if you are not a Tau, living of a Tau Empire sounds like a good deal, to be honest. It's a bit monotonous, but I would rather be monotonous. I've heard that law's been retconned about making humans infertile, or that it was only like imperial propaganda. No, now Doris sword, no, is it have a demon in it? Is specifically stated to be anti-warp from an even older unknown civilization. For old ones, maybe. More likely Necron said it doesn't look like a Necron weapon at all, though. It looks more Eldari than Necron-y. I mean, it doesn't look very Eldari either, to be honest. Cupcon let her down. I did. Vulcan fell to Lair Blade, which was a blade made by Xeno species that modified themselves for image of a four-armed serpentine form. Ooh. I forgot that one existed and was surprised when I saw it on Blue Sky. Yeah, it does exist. It's my V2 model. Just an updated version of the model I had originally created and you made way, way, way better. And Froggy as well. There we go. Back onto your base. Back onto the base. Okay. See, this is why I'm showing my limitations in 40k knowledge, though. I do not have perfect knowledge. But even then, Farsight, Fatao. I think if there's any life he can have, it'll probably be being a human inside the Farsight Enclave. Not the Farsight Enclave, the Tau Empire. Sounds like the best idea. Just as long as you're not going that crazy expansion. Was it the 5th expansion and 6th expansion? That sounds bad. Nico really out here for getting his own creations, it's true. Like leaving a child in a supermarket on accident. Oh, that happens so much to me. I kept arriving home and my parents like, oh, you made it home. Of a police out there? It's like, no. It's like, oh, that's good. Well, welcome back. I guess. I'm joking, that didn't happen to me. There we go. That's far worse than what I did. Ask Cupcon's sister. Fran! Wait, what happened to Fran? What did you do? I'm going to assume the worst. And that you deleted all the files of the model from her computer. She came back, that's what happened. Oh no. Ow. I may or might not be the deadbeat mother to her, but we ignore that. Fiend. Okay, I've got tails. I got tails of days. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. I got a tail. You know what, these? A fiend tried telling me a story about something that happened to them. I didn't believe them. I told them that's an awfully tall tale. Ah! Tall tale. Ah! Greatest joke ever. Everyone likes the stream. Everyone subscribes. And they all stood up and clapped. But this tale does not want to stay. Yeah. Is it the correct way? It feels like it's the correct way. Oh, it's perfect. Oh wait, that's because I was looking at the wrong piece. Not perfect. Ah, now it's perfect. Good. It keeps falling off his face. That's a good joke. Might just unsub for that. No! Don't unsub! Can't wait for family to grow so that I can ignore her more. No! Don't ignore your children. Okay, well, one issue of these guys is they do not like being stuck to the basis that I put them on. We all knew who Cuptle is behind the camera. She's got too many dad jokes to act. No! Look, they're called anti-jokes. Anti, when it's done by a woman, it's an anti-joke. Like the type of joke that your auntie tells you, not your father. You see? You see? Also, are you telling me mothers aren't allowed to make good jokes? Amazing jokes. Actually, no, dad jokes are bad. I don't sell dad jokes. I tell amazing jokes. They're removing a Baneblade from the web store. Might be a new model. There were rumors of a new model. Oh my gosh, no, the entire model's falling to pieces. No. No. We'll look into those rumors in a few seconds. There's also rumors that the Revenant Titans, you know, the Phantom Titans and stuff, might be coming into plastic. Not seen anything on the rumor engine that looks Banebladey though, from the top of my head. I'm reading the Maculaes because the crisis suit pilot is very real. Lies! Lies! Tau propaganda! Okay. Baneblade. Warhammer 40k. Armies of Imperium. Astra Militarum. Rose. That's the Baneblade. Sold out. Sold out! No! Maybe it will be a new model. Let's look at if any of the Space Marine models have yet sold out. I've been put into a sellout section. They're sold out. They used to be so cool, but now they're sold out. Tactical squads are still here. There's the ATV. So is the Devastator squad. Fire strike servo turrets just temporarily out to stock still. Hello, Dark Pigan. How you doing? Oh no, the spike stabbed into my skin and now it... Now I say skin, into my glove. Okay, we got the fiend here. These models look like they'll be exceptionally fragile. Right. Hay fever. I need to blow my nose again. Can't breathe. I like to imagine that the Tau are hated by the Imperium for ETS regions. My lord, they don't engage in melee combat. They what? Look, most Imperial units are not melee units. The Imperium doesn't want you to know this, but most of their units are actually ranged units. The Imperium has many of the best shooting armies in the game: Mechanicus, Astra Militarum, Space Marines. Tank Commander, drive me closer so I can hit with my sword. Okay, here's our fiends. This was the first one. He didn't go together very well. This was the second one, which went together beautifully. Loved it. Although it does not want to be on its base. Let's put the glue under its feet. And then here's the third one, which again wasn't very fun to put together. It's got cracks in it. Cracks in the facade. And I'll push some pressure on. The cracks disappear for a little bit. Oh, and that arm just fell off. Oh my gosh, this is not. And trying to hold it together is really painful because it's covered in spikes. Ow. Also, the Tau have blooming fruit on the side. They do engage in melee. But most Tau players don't want to use fruit for some crazy reason. There you go. Anyway, here's the other fiend. Fiends are massive. Like, actually, I do kind of have Primaris. I've got a librarian over here, which got turned into a Night Lord sorcerer. I probably shouldn't do that with an arm that's still drying from glue. No. 11th edition Tank Commander, drive me closer so I can ram them and explode in a pebble. To be fair, that is actually a really fun thing. I mean, it makes sense, to be honest. Like, if you're ramming into Space Marines with your tank, the likelihood is your tank is going to get crumpled running into them. You'll probably still crush them, but you'll probably also get, like, a pretty bad dent and destruction to your own tank. You might risk immobilizing it, especially if you, like, ram into a Terminator. My goodness. Ram into a Crisis Battle Suit, you're probably going to smash yourself up. Ram into a squad of guardsmen, maybe one of them gets a grenade out just in time. That's how I imagine it. Against any basic unit that's like, you know, Ogrens, Space Marines, battle suits, other vehicles, you're probably, when you ram them, you are going to be damaging yourself. And against anything that's a lot squishier, like Gretchen, Guardsman, Tau Fire Warriors, Troop, you're probably going to be facing the issue of, you know, from getting out a grenade. It used to be, though, this actually goes back when they first brought in Tank Shock, or when I first used Tank Shock anyway. How Tank Shock worked was, it was ridiculous. So you'd move, I can't even remember, I don't think it was a charge phase, I think it was a move phase thing. But you'd move as quickly as you could at an enemy. And you get, plus you do 1 attack against them, with some exceptions. And it would have a strength equal, and this could go over 10. Back in a time when you couldn't go over 10, no weapon had strength. Only 1 weapon, I think that was a rail cannon, was strength 10. Oh yeah, had strength D for apocalypse weapons too. If your models explode and they die, you win, even if you lose. Yeah. But what is it? I think it was that every 3 inches you move, you get +1 strength to your attack. Then, you got... What else happened with your attack? You got, I think it was +1 point for every point that you are over your armor value-ish over 9. So I think it was like, if your armor value 10, you get +1. Armor value 14 for maximum, you get +5. And then if you had like RAM on your vehicle, you get +1 again. Or plus whatever. I think like orcs could get +D6 and a bunch of their things. But so as a result, you could hit really, really well. And it could just absolutely destroy an enemy vehicle. But then for enemy vehicle, the armor value that you're ramming into, they would get +1 point for every strength, and they would also do an attack against you, equal to every 3 inches you moved, they get +1 strength. And they also got +1 strength for like every armor value over 9 or something on the side of the armor you're ramming into. So if you're like rammed into a land raider, there's a likelihood your vehicle's also going to be destroyed. I think it's like you might have got +1 for doing the ram yourself. I wish a Riptide had fireball toughness to tank shot. I want to shoulder check people with my shield. In honesty, you can still tank shock with it. It's just not going to do super well. How about a plus for tank shock depending on how far your model moved? So faster units could really ram others. That's the thing. So orcs back then, they got a +3 inches if you painted vehicle red. They could already move like 12 inches. And they got access to like super speed. So if they could do like a 24-inch ram, which became like blooming 30-inch ram or something. They could do like a 36-inch ram, I believe, which was ridiculous. This means that like the first turn, they could just absolutely bolt across the battlefield and hit you for like strength 20 hit with all the rams and stuff. Speed reeks is 24-inch range charge of that 1 detachment. Yeah, this was back then, the tactic for orcs. Orcs are just absolutely dominating, and so did Dark Eldar actually, because both of them could just like send these really cheap, really light vehicles, just absolutely ram into the enemy. I think both of them also got benefits if they did tank shock the enemy. Oh yeah, I think both of them also could put a ram on the vehicle, which meant that when they're doing a tank shock, their front armor counts as 14, which includes both the attack against them and the attack that they're dealing against you. So you'd have to roll against armor 14 instead of armor value 10. And they would be like hitting you with like a +5 or something. So it'd just be hitting you with an attack that's basically guaranteed to blow your vehicle to smithereens. Sure, their vehicle is likely going to get blown to smithereens too. But your vehicle costs 200 points, theirs costs 50. So yeah, that was the thing. If they could just do it to cross the battlefield, and on top of that, they'll put a bunch of boys in their vehicles. So like they do it with a truck, or a bunch of Dark Eldar, So you put like some really good melee unit in there, maybe a tough unit like grotesque or something, or rats. So when you go across a battlefield, for ramming to your vehicle, destroying it, your vehicle likely becomes a crater. Their vehicle might become a crater. If they're not, then the vehicles become a wreck, which stays on the battlefield. And the crater is something literally you put a physical crater on the battlefield. And now they've got a unit in the middle of your deployment lines. But I think could still shoot and charge that turn, maybe. I can't remember if they passed the leadership test. But that is now got cover. Any vehicles that you had behind your vehicles are now going to struggle moving because there's like 2 wrecks in the way. It was absolutely insane. Now, nowadays it wouldn't be as bad, but it'll still be pretty bad for somebody to go, okay, I've got a 70-point model, you've got a 210-point model. Let me just ram it and destroy your model. Oh my gosh, BFG really is based on old war. It is. Our crews are being cheaper and denser than other cruisers, meaning they ram and explode very wonderfully. Yep. That's literally the tactic for Orcs and Dark Elder back then, until they fixed the tank shock rules to basically make it nowhere near as powerful. Was just to ram the enemy. So I think the rules as they are now aren't bad at all. It makes it also much more amusing. Because people have been complaining about with 40k in 10th edition. Ah, my leggy legs. I just moved my legs on top of one another for a cross and they stuck together because I'm wearing a skirt. But what was happening? Oh yeah, so people are complaining that you don't have enough silly things happening in 40k as it stands. Like old 40k, it was filled with, like hazard, like you fire your plasma gun, you explode. You do anything, you're exploding. Like before, hazardous checks were like on a 1 to hit. So that means the more shots you're firing, the more likely you are to fail. And, resulting dead models. You had more randomness, you had more explosions. So having tank shock returning to do damage to your vehicles, having hazards be on 1s and 2s, all of these things are bringing back some of the more old 40k vibe while still keeping it a bit cleaner and a bit more reasonable. Like, what was it? In the battle report, I still think it's free to watch. First 11th edition battle report that they did for Warhammer Plus. Free to watch. Orcs versus Space Marines, obviously. It uses some of the models from the starter set, but also a bunch of others like Gasco Thacker. And Morkanaut, no, was it a Gorkanaut? It might have been a Gorkanaut. Got really badly damaged, so it rammed an enemy gladiator. And did like a multi-charge, but on its tank shock, it destroyed itself without destroying the enemies. But then in its explosion, it got rid of the enemy gladiator. Which was just absolutely hilarious. I loved that. I remember a guard book where everyone keeps dying violently and I felt nothing. But felt actual horror when a character was kidnapped by Tukari and was never heard from again. Ooh. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, don't let the Drukhari take your soldiers away. That's not recommended. Well, they became a lamp or a chair. Or they got taken to the gladiatorial arena. Or they got turned into one of those grotesques or put into a Talus Pain engine or whatever. Okay, 32mm bases, please. Yes. Now, let's go for the ones with a hex hole in the middle since they don't have to worry about it. So what I'm planning to do here is build... I don't even know if I want to do any conversions of these guys since they do not look easy to convert. The idea is I want to use them as firebrands. Okay, number 11. Are they push fit? They are push fit. Oh. No wonder they're so hard to look into convert for fully push fit models. I wonder why they're push fit. I know that they originally are all Warcry models push fit ones. Being taken to the arena is a mercy and you know it. Yeah, the arena is probably one of the better places to be taken. Well, it depends. Because your soul is probably going to be devoured by all the Dark Elder there. Is it still the fact that when you get killed in the arena, they basically devour your soul by time Cupcle? Got to test tomorrow? Oh, go to sleep. Study for your test. I hope you do well in it, Denizen of Misery. I'll become a Denizen of test passing. Ah, right. So we got 11, which probably goes with 10. They feast on the suffering, not the soul specifically. I know they feast on the suffering. I swear it's like if you could die in the arena, like everyone is feasting so heavily on your suffering and stuff that, you know, your soul kind of gets taken in by it all. Although that might just be me misremembering stuff and getting things confused. Because I know the Dark Elder also risk their souls being devoured by Slaanesh. Okay, so we've got 12 here. Yeah, I think I might just build these as normal. Will the soul not go to Slaanesh as a sacrifice? I don't think it goes to Slaanesh as a... The Dark Elder do not worship Slaanesh. They're on an effort quest to ever escape Slaanesh, which is why many of them, you know, joined the Inari. And why you find some of them like as Corsairs. Some of them even tried joining the craft worlds and stuff. They are at their core, they're still Eldar. Okay, 11, 12, 9, 2, 6, 7, 8, 13. Okay, 13 is the base. Oh, it would be 9. Yeah, it'll definitely be the 9th one. They're trying to keep her away by giving them something else. Are they giving them something else? Maybe that's what's happening. I know that the Dark Elder, they will give basically their DNA and a bit of their soul to homunculi. And if they die, their soul will basically go back into... Similar to, you know, to the gemstones that the... these spirit stones that the Eldari wear. Their soul will go into the gemstone. We'll go to wherever that tiny bit of a soul is, to the homunculi. And then they'll just be... The soul will be transferred to a new clone of themselves. Most Eldari Dark Elder are also fat grown by the homunculi and stuff. Yeah, this is a really cool model. I do like the model, it just looks like it's pushed it. Oh gosh, I should have cut down the tabs, I didn't think about it. Oh, it does not want to go together, does it? Maybe it's this bit doing it. There we go. We'll try putting it together. It's very, very thin, so I'm not sure it will work. But yeah, so that's actually one of the things that made me really like how Dark Held. It's like, oh, so if our entire raid just gets butchered and it fails, don't worry about it. As long as we're paying off our tab to the homunculus, we can just come back. I've always thought that was like a kind of cool concept. Especially compared to Spirit Stones, where you just get... You basically just get turned into a power source for your fellow Eldari. Which kind of sucks. I understand it. Dark Eldar slowly get their souls drained by Slaanesh to stave off the leaking. They vitalize themselves as suffering and torment. Yep. But if the arenas are done, so how I thought it was, again, it's been years since I've properly looked at the Dark Eldar. It used to be my favourite army. But when you're in the arena, it's effectively very similar to, you know, the gladiatorial arenas of Rome in a way, in which it's all funded and stuff. Everyone's free to go there to some extent in Commonwealth, but of a local area. Gosh, this does not want to click on. Oh gosh, maybe I did it wrong now. It definitely goes this way. There we go. But then everyone feeds on the suffering together. And that everyone trying to feed on that suffering, like potentially millions of Dark Eldar, are just watching the arena as just a few people suffer and die. Effectively
used to be the favorite army, and yet not a single one to be seen in this modern age. Truly a tale to rival doth Pelagius the Wise.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, if I would just glue her to a 42, yeah, I think she'll be a good. Yeah, I just use her as a direct proxy for. It would be a shame to like try converting her and mess her up by like trying to put a flamethrower on her or something, or that warp fire. Actually, it might be good to like see if I can find any warp fire like on Etsy or something. I was busy. What were you painting? Not painting anything. We're building today. We're building this little gal, and we're using her. Going to use her as a cultist firebrand. I just want something to lead my cultists. It seems good enough. Shame that firebrands absolutely suck in melee. But yeah, I thought the entire, like, everyone trying to feed and you're suffering all at once, like all these millions of souls trying to revitalize themselves would, like, destroy the souls of whoever's fighting in the arena. And I could very much be wrong there, like, it has been years. It used to be my favourite army, but the fact that they've really not had anything new since I played, except one character, pretty much, kind of sucks. And my army has been taken away. Sad. I got rid of that army a long time ago. Also, the Dark Eldar just don't speak to me to the same extent anymore. I was kind of an edgy teenager when I played them. I don't know about Cynthia Frayne was in multiple combats, if I recall. Did she die, though, in multiple combats? I think she might have done. And Yvain is newer lore, I guess. from when I was reading up about it all. So it could be that that was the law and I'm not misremembering it, but you know, it's since changed. Because it does happen. Or it could just simply be, you know, just one of those things where it's just rumours being told by the Imperium. Because back when I was playing a lot, that's really how they like to do all of a book. It was always, this is just a rumour. The entire codex is written by someone who knows somebody who might have once seen these people. Who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Put the little nubbins down. Trim the nubbins. Okay, that definitely has to go over that piece. So this goes here. This wants to go over that piece like this. And this piece wants to go on top. Yeah, I guess if his soul's not getting destroyed or anything like that, then going to the arena is probably the best fate that awaits you. Oh yeah. Leneshi models. I guess I could put them into my Acolyte unit. The issue is I can only have like 500 points off. Whatever's. How do you even go under this? Is it this way? Doesn't look like it. This way. Oh, it looks like it's this way. There we go. She's very cool. We who are about to die definitely do not salute you. I find it funny that the gladiatorial arenas of Rome were both far more bloody and far less bloody than what Hollywood would have you believe. Like, in general, they didn't want the gladiators dying, especially, like, good gladiators. But at the same time, they did do stuff of, you know, throwing just a bunch of them, you know, interns into the grinder. And animals and stuff. Yeah, I have no idea what I actually would want to do with this last person in the unit. I want to look at what options that are available for using these things as. At the moment, if we look into here, Lanesh. I want to use them as cult firebrands. Bossin, battle shock test, reroll leadership. That's all it really does. They're not very good. Oh, wait. Sorry, here we go. Here we go. Sorry, didn't show you, did I? Let's look at what units I could have instead. How much is a cult firebrand? 45 points. I can't have like another Slaneshi character here though. because I've already got 2 units of Demon it. And 1 unit of Seekers and 1 unit of Fiends. Spawns a Crypt Forest. I could get rid of a Felgor Beastman and replace them with something here. It's like, what can I even use them as? I guess if we look at the Dark Commune, you do have the whatever it is, the warp fire thing. You got the Cult Demiurge, which is armed with Commune Staff, 2 Cursed Blades, an Iconoclast, and a Mind Witch. Chaos Space means that's the one I want. Dark Commune. What size base are they all on? 32mm that looks like. Yeah, 3 32mm. I guess one of them could be a Cult Demiurge. With the Commune stuff. No, that would suck. Yeah, I distracted myself. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure your friend just got shanked by Lilith Hespax in the end, but you know, gaze a slumbering god, yada yada. Yeah. I think I thought she was like brought back by like the god of death or something. I do forget that she was in those arenas. So what? Cursed Witchfire. I guess the Witchfire one could be a Mind Witch, like that. And the other one could be the Iconoclast, I guess. Another called Demiurge. Nah, that wouldn't work. Although, what would they be replacing? Dark Commune, Cultist Firebrands, Cultist Firebrands. There's not like any other options for like leading cultists though. Like a character leading them. What leadership is that? 6+. They are 7+. There's there any reasons to have a firebrand leading them? Yeah, I guess I'll just use them as firebrands for now. Dark Commune. Yeah, I'm looking at the Dark Commune. Like, I could potentially, like, replace my Demiurge and the, Demigago, whatever it's called. The Iconic and the Mind Witch with these models. And then use them as cult firebrands. But still, it doesn't feel very fitting. The only one that feels kind of fitting is the Mind Witch one, I guess. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I'll just use them as firebrands. Just say that instead of a flamethrower, they just attack you with a, what's it called? Lightning blade attacks. Well, she probably just fires magic at you. While she probably just throws daggers at you. Actually, yeah, she could probably throw daggers at you. That represents a fire. And she'll still get 4 attacks at strength 4 in melee. No AP or anything, but still 4 attacks at strength 4 in melee. 4 spectral shocks on the enemy with maybe a shriek attack or something, rather than flamethrowers. It works well enough. Yeah. I don't like to convert them more, but they're not exactly very convertible models, and I just kind of like them as they are. But I have just thought I probably want to take one of my spare banners for my Slaneshi models and replace my cult icon. So for the moment, the cult icon for my cultist is just a normal chaos icon. Replacing it with a Slaneshi one would probably be much nicer. Don't know what I'd use this person for. They're not Demon Prince size. Or are they Demon Prince size? It could be Demon Prince size, actually. Guess I could use this one as a Chaos Sorcerer. Quickly to the Crucible rules. Oh wait, they lasted 5 seconds, which was a record by all account. You can still use the Crucible rules. It's just that there's no Crucible Cultists in Chaos Space Marines. There's Crucible Cultists for if you're World Eaters, which is really cool. Or like no unit that can join Cultists. Oh gosh, this one model has more bits than the other two combined. There goes. Snip down these little bits. Gosh, everything's catching on everything. Been looking at what models GW are moving. Tau Broadsides, Arc Bikers, and Brain Blades. Yeah, Arc Bikers we know are getting replaced. Brain Blades and the Broadsides are both in the rumour mill. I'm still hoping that the rumours of suppressors go into Legends are false and that we get a new suppressor unit. I just want my suppressors. Oh, my suppressors back, suppressors back, suppressors back. Suppressor back ribs. I also hope that the Fire Strikes turret doesn't go to Legends at all. And the ATV and stuff like that. Yep, that's why there's a bit of sprue here that needs to be removed. I imagine Bane Blades and Broadsides would both get replaced because both of them are just like iconic models to their factions. If they got rid of them, there'd just be a massive... Everyone would just complain. That's all you're going to get. You're just going to get everyone complaining about it. Bikes we know full well are getting replaced because they spoiled them. Or, you know, they revealed them when they revealed the rest of it, you know, the terrain and stuff. In that teaser. And they also can't get rid of the bikes after just releasing Rastak on the entire speed war anyway. Well, that suggests that soon the tower going to be getting new stuff, and so will be the Astra Militarum, which is interesting if nothing else. There we go. Yeah, that goes there. Like that. And this goes here, like. Bloop. Very fat little demony demon. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely not demon prince size. Could be a sorcerer, I guess. Looks kind of more like it belongs to Nurgle, though. I think it is rumored that How is one to get the next codex after Orcs and Space Marines. Could be. How big is this next to the Librarian? A sorcerer? Yeah, I guess I could just use this as a sorcerer. Instead of having Felgar Ravages. Are you a demon? Yes. Why don't you have a demon keyword? Because I'm not being used as a demon. Oh. Come on. Go into place. There we go. Yeah. Okay, we built it as intended. That's weird. Leaves a very weird feeling in my mouth. But yeah, they're pretty cool models. I can snap up this through. And that leaves the Seekers and the rest of the Demonettes to build, which maybe we'll find another stream for them to be. Actually, tomorrow, I did say I'll paint tomorrow. We could do another demon stream tomorrow. Do you think 3 demon streams in a row would be good? Do you want to do more demons? And all we've got is a Seeker, so we've already built some Demonettes on stream. So many demons, so many demons. Yeah, we could finish them on stream for the dark god. Yeah. Also, since we got a bit of time, let's put some magnets on for bases while we're here, because I need to magnetize the bases so they can be put onto the metal things. Okay, how many magnets do you think? 3. That's half of 6. Oh gosh, those 2 magnets would be a bit too close together. Never mind. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Where is my... I've got some clippers somewhere that have magnet. There they are. One magnet goes over here. A second magnet goes over here. A third magnet. Come on, third magnet. Goes over here. I might need to put a fourth magnet on them, to be honest. I don't know. They don't feel particularly heavy, and with them being so spindly, they run the risk of, if you put too many magnets on them, you know, snapping and breaking when you're trying to pick them up off the tray. First time here, but we'll again another time. Gotta go make some food for family. Oh, good luck with making your food. Make it super tasty. And don't forget to like the stream before you go. It's nice of you to pop in. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's so beautiful. So beautiful, so pretty. Three more magnets. Games Workshop 2013. How don't how. Everyone loves them both. And we just put magnets on for base. Yeah, so that way we don't have to worry about them getting stuck in foam. I could just put them on a metal tray in a box that has special things for the metal trays. Oh, because of these things, I don't have to worry again. Okay, now they are heavy enough, but I feel like I need 2 magnets on them. But they're spindly enough where I think 2 magnets would be too much. I'll just go with 2 magnets.
No, magnets so they can be hung from the ceiling, obviously.
Obviously. We want them flying from the sea. Attach them to a ceiling fan and just go spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record player, right round. You know. So much wasted storage potential up there if you're not using it. True. True. But if I don't have any metal on my ceiling, all wood and plaster and paint. These bases always feel so weird. Da -na 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 -na. Da -da 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 -da. Da -da 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 -da. The tea creators made you sad. The people who make tea. I don't know what tea creators are. But hi, Ira Boyer. How you doing? DW working against creators. Ah. Wait, what's Games Workshop done against creators recently? Not heard anything about them doing anything bad. Sorry, connection is bad here. Oh. There we go. Animators and fair use parody. I've not seen them do anything like that recently.
Another round of copyright strikes has hit the community.
Really? Darn it, ruined bouncing magnet. There we go. Like Nintendo Lite. Maybe. There we go. And I can't really comment on it because I don't know what's been struck. I didn't even know there was a strike. I remember everyone got up in arms like, oh no, a bunch of people got strikes. And then it's like, you're literally making and selling things. You know, that's literally just Warhammer. Without a license to do that, that's just illegal. It makes sense that you got struck. I don't know if that's the case this time or if they were doing stuff. There we go. There we go. I'll have to look that up. Well, we got magnets on bases. Oh, so where's my knife blade? Yeah. And I'm going to. So I'm gonna go and have some pasta. Either I love see people doing conversions live. I went to 3D printing another tabletop war games years ago. Oh. Unfortunately, we actually didn't do any conversions today. This kit is very monopose and it's push fit. And they're kind of nice models, so I didn't feel like converting them in the end. And for themes, I just wanted to build like themes anyway. So we ended up actually not doing any funky conversions like I predicted we would. Yesterday we did conversions though. We made this cool little thing. Which is a demon prince of Slaanesh. Yeah, for my Night Lord army. That's why it's all vampire themed. And the other day we made this crazy conversion from a Terrorgeist and a Mauler Fiend. Do. Yeah. But sometimes you have a plan to do a conversion and it just turns out, when you say you have a plan, you want to do a conversion, then you get for models and for like, actually, that's not going to be as easy as they imagine. I mean, I guess I could replace the hands. Like I could give them a pistol in that arm. Or flamethrower. This is what I guess we could cut off that hand and try seeing if we can find like one of those flame pistols. Oh, a couple of flame pistols. From the Sanctifier kit. That could work. But it will look very weird. Monopose kits leave me staring at them, wishing they were not because of what. Yeah. Same. I mean, we do convert plenty of monopose kits. It's just I don't have exactly many bits that I do not spin and spindly as Slanesh arms. I would be able to seamlessly go here. Thanks to the bracelets, I do have a good place where I could cut the hand off and attach another hand instead. And if the seam not to be that bad, but it will still be a very thin connection that will break easily. And again, putting like a flame pistol there might not look too bad, but here it would just be pointing upwards. And look weird. I wonder why they don't have plasma throwers. Maybe they do. Maybe that's what a Tau flamethrower is. Oh. Fireworks. I mean, they do have plasma guns. And, you know, for Dark Eldar, not for Dark Eldar, for Eldar use plasma missiles and stuff, and plasma grenades. Oh, I think the Tau use plasma grenades too. But what about if we look at the Eldari, you've got the Wraithguard, which can be armed with D-Scythes. That's a torrent weapon with high AP. What does a D-Scythe do? Ooh. I doubt it's throwing plasma at the enemy. I imagine it's some sort of like different dimension weapon. I guess that's what a plasma gun is. It just throws plasma at your enemy. Teleport to flamethrower. I think in the old days they never had a plasma flamethrower because actually no, that's not even the case because they had plasma blast weapons with the tanks. It was just like after you roll it. Oh no, if you do a misfire it explodes. That was it. When you scatter it, throwing suns at the enemy. True. Plasma would not be a very effective weapon in real life. I'm just gonna tell you that. Oh, it would suck. Like, literally, we can produce plasma. We could make a plasma gun if we wanted to. It's just not going to be effective. It's like, one, the expense of creating a plasma gun is going to be outweighed by why don't I just throw napalm at my enemy? Or why don't I just fry a molten metal at my enemy or like molten plastic? In fact, actually, that's kind of what we do. Some of the like for old missile launchers, it's just molten copper being fired at incredibly high pressure at the enemy. No, about magnetic containment. Yeah, the issue with plasma is that once you do try throwing at the enemy, it's not going to stay in a nice ball. It's going to try like expanding and going everywhere. On top of this, it's going to cool extremely rapidly. Like, sure, it might start at 6,000 degrees or whatever, but it's going to cool extremely rapidly. Especially as you're trying to fire it across a massive distance. Which isn't going to be good. So what you could do is you could create like a missile, right, that explodes into a ball of plasma. And it's, how good is that going to be against an enemy tank? Not very effective. It's going to be, so metal is very good at, you know, conducting heat. And what it will do is, rather than the heat all staying in one place, it will get conducted to the rest of the tank, which is, you know, got nice air around it, where it's going to cool relatively quickly. And on top of this, it's usually tanks made out of multiple armor, layers of different armor, sometimes of ceramic, sometimes of gaps of air and stuff, which are also going to be very good at dissipating all of that heat very quickly. And yeah, it's just not going to be very effective. You might just kind of melt down the armor a little bit. But what you'd really need, if you want to melt through a tank, is you need a welding gun. So you need a extreme amount of heat being applied to the tank consistently. Whereas like a plasma gun, the heat is just going to dissipate. There's nothing generating that heat anymore. After that initial plasma attack, nothing's generating any more heat. It's not going to do anything. I mean, if you make a giant ball of plasma big enough and hot enough, yeah, you could probably vaporize the tank. But at that point, you're probably vaporizing a lot of people and like your entire own army as well. I mean, at that point, you basically just, why don't just fire a nuke at the enemy? Well, that's where the issue always comes down. I can do something better with cheaper. Like, I could just make, like, why use a plasma gun? Okay, we're using a plasma gun against a person. Is a plasma gun going to be more effective than just an armor-piercing bullet? No. An armor-piercing bullet's going to be better for many, 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 many reasons. Okay, what about a big ball of plasma for it to explode? It's like, is that going to be better than a grenade or missile or like a very high yield missile? No. Is it going to be worse? Yes. Is it going to be cheaper? No. Just finished helping my grandfather and by corn, I'm dying of this heat. Yeah, corn. The heat's not good. Idiot for working all. Yeah, you are. Don't. I told you yesterday. Don't work in all black. Work in white. In burning sunlight, you want to wear light clothing. You don't want to wear dark clothing. The dark clothing absorbs all of the rays and it gets very hot very easily. But yeah, humanity will likely be throwing hot metal at things 1,000 years. Assuming we survive 1,000 years. My gosh. Your aunt pushed you. Oh. Yeah, it's I mean, there are reasons to do plasma kind of weapons, I guess. Like if we're looking at, you know, spaceship stuff, arguably there's an argument to be made for a plasma weapon. Like a plasma torpedo kind of thing. Especially if you could make a stabilized thing. Again, it's like the question is why not just use a nuclear warhead or something or fusion weapon? I mean, that's effective what you'll be doing if you just throw a plasma warhead at the enemy. You're effectively just going to do a fusion weapon. But the main thing is, if you could create such an intense ball of heat against an enemy that could just eat a chunk of their vehicle, what you're going to do is you're going to also burn through all of their oxygen. You're going to just set their air on fire. You're going to melt ventilation shafts and stuff. And on top of this, what you're probably going to do is with such an immense amount of heat, you might just weld their holes back into place. So what you do is you'd vent all of the oxygen and you'd burn up all the oxygen before blast heads have a chance to, bulkheads have a chance to close down. Oh no, you're raiding me, Briar. I'm literally going to end my stream. Oh no. I only avoid a shadow of an orbit to maximize the dispersion. Yeah, on top of that, the heat has nowhere to go. The only place that the heat has to go when you get hit by a plasma weapon is into the ship itself. Like, space is not cold, it's a vacuum. You need air to dissipate the heat. But hello, you caught me right at the end. You did catch me right at the end. Hi, Paladin. Hi, Briar. How you all doing? I'm Cupcake Conjurer in name and profession. Okay, I'll find somebody. YouTube. Is there actually anybody live right now? Please work for me, YouTube. Please work for me. I know 2 people who are live here, I think. Oh, don't click the end stream button. Edit. Custom. We'll do a raid. We'll do a raid. We'll raid into a raid. No, don't. Redirect into... Okay, never mind. There's a bunch of people live. What? I don't want to raid into someone's collab. That feels a bit rude. Okay, we can raid into Kohaku, I guess. He's playing Powder Skates. I think he starts around this time. Okay, I'm checking. I'm making sure you're lost. No! Headed back to work. Bye-bye, Ira. Good luck with your work. I hope this isn't playing like all the adverts over my stream, is it? There we go. Okay, no, he's still going. We'll raid into Kohaku. Yeah, do a cupcake raid or do a briar raid. How to do a cupcake raid. I'll show you. Ow. Thanks for yeeting at me. Cupcake raid. So copy and paste. Cupcake raid. Or do your Google raid if you want to. We'll do raid to raid. So thank you for coming to the stream. Give Kohaku a lot of love. Give Briar a lot of love. Remember to like and subscribe to everybody ever, including me. And goodbye, everybody. Love you all. How do I end the stream again? I end it like this. There we go. Smash. Love you all. And don't forget, cupcakes are friends, not food.